Hey guys, DibtheAwesome here to give you another Monster Legends guide where we talk about monsters' moves, their rune set, partners, all that jazz. Today we are looking at Taiga, one of the new monsters that are coming out for the Winter Maze event that is currently out now, that you can totally get. And yeah, so Taiga is a few things about Taiga. Taiga is a light monster. Light monsters are pretty rare. They're harder to get. They're really hard to get. Light monsters and metal monsters are the hardest things to get in the game. You just get them. I mean, like if you're just starting out, you do need to get light monsters. You do need to get metal monsters. Even though you can't use them until later levels in the game, you do need them for team wars. You do need them at some point. So you should get them and then save them for that point when you can actually use them. This thing's immune to freeze. The second thing you need to know about this monster, this thing's immune to freeze. It's weird that I'm kind of just talking about this stuff beforehand, but this is really important stuff. This immunity to freeze thing. Not many monsters have this trait, even though this is the best. This is literally the best trait in the game because so many people use freeze. It's such a common thing to do. So spam freeze, freeze, chain freeze. That can't do anything. This is really good. This monster is. I will say this monster is really good in PvP. Just in general of like the freezing wars, just like Krampus, just water monsters in general. Anything with a freeze skill that's not a water monster, bring it to. This is the monster to bring it to those fights. You bring it to those fights, specifically those fights. It does pretty well in those fights. It does its job well in that sense. It's got the stats to do what it's meant to do. There, it's a damage dealer. It does it well. Its power is 3,498. This is a really high power for light monsters. It's not the highest one. I think Leyeth still has the highest one. But this is a pretty high power nonetheless. It's a little bit above the gospel power of 465. 3,465. This is a pretty good power. This power is nice. It helps a lot with what he needs to do when he's fighting other monsters. Pretty good stat, pretty great, pretty healthy. If you slap really high level runes, which I highly recommend you do, slap like level 9 runes on this thing, and this thing will kill like crazy. This thing will go around and kill things for you if you wanted it to. His life is 25,032. This is a low life. But despite that, it doesn't matter really too much because he has moves to avoid, damage from the damage dealer, or like just damage, a single target damage, or just a single turn of damage, and that's that's all right. Hopefully, it is the attacker that's the damage that's being dodged. If it's not, oh god, oh god. But yeah, he's got two moves that do that. But yeah, he's got a life of 25,032. This life is pretty bad, but it's all right because you can avoid damage. He has moves to avoid damage. I think he's like the first monster. He's the first attacking monster to have moves that avoid damage, which is interesting. But besides the shield and stuff like that, obviously the first way was to use shields. This is his child, adult, teenager, and adult. By the way, his speed is 3,432. This is a pretty good speed. It's like the 90 speed and stuff like that. It's not the highest speed. I think Lao still has, in terms of like speed, in terms of for attacking light monsters, I think Lao still has the speed for attacking monsters. That is, I'm not saying she's the fastest light monster. I'm saying in terms of attacking monsters, I think Lao still the fastest in terms of light attackers. Just light attackers. I'm not just saying light in general. I think the fastest light monster at the moment is Cassia, which she is actually out too, and that's a really fun monster to use. So yeah, this is a pretty good speed stat all around. This guy has nice stats. Okay, so I kid you not, I made a joke about this in the Winter Maze video. This guy is pretty much the Arctic cousin of Rengar from League of Legends. It actually does kind of terrify me that they actually made this guy's basically like Rengar. If you looked into his kid, it's like what he does, hidden trap, like hidden hunt. This guy's like Rengar. If you ever played League of Legends, it's his Arctic cousin, and it terrifies me. I hate fighting Rengar in League of Legends, and now that he's like on here too, is basically on here too. Oh god, I hated that thing so much. Yeah, the Knight of the Hunter. Oh god, deals insane special damage. Even his ult is terrifying. Just the name of it, even though his, like the damage too is also terrifying. This deals insane special damage to all enemies. This hurts. If you get this on the first turn, you're running 2 damage runes. You're gonna destroy shit. Everything's dead. Everything's wiped out at this point, or nearly close to. This does a lot of damage. If you have 2 level 9 runes, again, be very generous in the damage runes. If you put 2 level 9 runes on this, it's gonna sweep. It's just, that's the thing. It's gonna sweep. You can say that for any attacker, but yeah, for this one, you can sweep with this. This thing can sweep. This thing doesn't need too much. It's not asking for. It's again. It's kind of like a more rewarding less risk monster, which is a really broken. You know, this is this is the monster that people are hype about, like something that's really strong and broken. If this thing get nerfed, people are gonna get a lot of people are gonna get like really mad about it. But yeah, this thing is pretty strong at the moment. So we're looking at all these moves. I will say I'm only gonna mention this move. You know, this hidden hunt move. It's 35 damage earned during cooldown, 28 stamina. Obviously, this isn't a great move, but it's his only spammable move. Just keep that in mind. It's his only spammable move. He doesn't. It's like his moves do go on a cooldown. They're not high cooldowns, but they're still on cooldowns. You might want to. I will say you might. It's not something you may or may not. You may want to run this one. You might want to. I'm not saying you should, but you might want to. Just because light monsters in general are usually it's a general invarv. So you might have some. It's not too much trouble, but you might have some trouble killing it. You know, you'll eventually kill it. You will eventually kill it. But it will take you a while, and you know, just having a spammable move to beat the crap out of it, so they doesn't like regen is, you know, that's I think that's really relevant. You might want to bring this move. I'm not saying it's the definite move, but you may run this move. This is totally an option. If you do bring this move, that's totally, yeah. It's even if you know is the damage bad, you know, 35 damage it's but yeah, it's his only spammable move. Hidden kill deals massive special damage. Make target bleed, requires cooldown. You might think after this move there'd be like an 80 damage, an 90 damage move after this one. Seeing like the second group move has this kind of move as the second move. No, this is his highest damage move. This is the move that probably should be going in skill groups 3, but it's in skill groups 2. This deals massive special damage, may make target bleed, requires cooldown. I like monsters that, in all honesty, I like the bleed stat. It's really nice. This is his kill move. This, like the hidden kill. This literally is meant to kill the enemy. If you don't kill something with the first hit with this move, there's something wrong with your setup. You do it's either your rune sets or just just maybe you don't have double damage or that you're too tanky. This does need to kill the monster in one hit. This is a move you do want the monster to be dead in with one hit. You do want them dead. you don't want them to get back up again. You want them dead. That's basically the main concept of this thing. When this thing moves, you want something dead. You want something done. Lick your wounds. Gives precision, removes all negative effects from itself, requires cooldown. This is great in the case you're burning or you're like blind or you're just under a status effect, which is pretty, you do run this move. If you do, you can use this as a safe option. It's not a bad move to run, but you don't need to run it. Fatal Ambush deals moderate light damage to all enemies. Requires cooldown. I will say this is your AoE damage, so you might want to run. You should probably totally run this move. This is your AoE damage. You can run this move. Invisible Hunter deals heavy special damage. Taiga will dodge the first attack received with the next turn. This is a really good move. It's his move to avoid all damage and stuff like that. The only problem, okay, this is a really good move. It's really great. You avoid all damage. This is good for when they do like this just solid damage AOE, solid move damage. It's great for those situations. It's pretty much like damage reduction. It's totally like that. And sadly, since it's totally like damage reduction, it has the same story as damage reduction. Sadly, space time does not avoid status effects. So if you get stunned, if they use a stun move, you will get stunned. You'll avoid the damage, but you'll get stunned. And that's not the thing. This guy does not run that great when he's under stun or something like that. It's great the fact he's immune to freeze. But if there's a monster that the other attacker like stuns you and stuff like that, he's not having a good day. He avoids damage, but he's not having a good day because he's stunned. And yeah, like I did see there was a like yeah, I'll get to that out later. But yeah, this is another damage move. You do need to run this move because it's the only other special damaging move, unless you do run the other move too. You do run Hidden Hunt. Which you might want to actually do. But yeah, this is the other move you do run. Realize it's only 50 damage. It's not as high as Hidden Kill, and this actually potentially hurts his, kill ability. This does hurt his kill ability, like his ability to kill, because it's 50 damage. If you do run, if you have really high level runes, obviously that's not too much of a problem, because if you run like level 9 or level 10 runes, you're going to kill something regardless, because you just have so high of runes, and not many people invest in life runes, which is a shame, and you can take advantage of those stupid people, because hey, you have really high damage now. You have really high damaging runes, and you can take advantage of the people that's like, oh, all I need on defense is a nice AoE or defense freezes, and I can LOLs for days with high-ass damage from my damage dealer. Yeah, now they have to actually build life. Now they actually have to play smart against you, or you get to kill them. But yeah, this is all around. This is a pretty good move. I've seen a setup that you can actually take a really good advantage of this move. Ready to Hunt. Gain double damage. Will dodge the first attack received within the next turn. This is another one. This is his second avoid all damage move. He's got two of these things, which is really nice. And it's really nice. I will say this guy in terms of like setting up double damage and precision, he has the second best. The first one is obviously the one with the extra turn, Barbatos, which Barbatos possesses. That's the best one, just in general and stuff like that. But I will say if this guy goes first before the enemy attacker, which is usually usually may be the case, because not many light attackers have a higher base speed, the same base speed as Taiga. You can actually this might actually be the best one, just the fact you can avoid the enemy damage. This is a good safe move. I will say this is a good safe move. Is it 100% safe proof? No, because you can still get stunned. Since it's spaced out, I don't believe it avoids the first attack. It says it dodges the first attack. It doesn't. It might not do that. It might just avoid the damage. It's because it says space time. If you ever use Timeron, you would probably know why I'm even bringing this up. If you do just go into a game, use Timeron space time, they do an AoE freeze. You will see your monsters get frozen. You can still get status effect, and that's kind of the thing that worries me. But yeah, this is still a great move. In all honesty, this is a really great move, especially in Team Wars. You will use this guy primarily in Team. You will see this guy primarily in Team Wars, and it does set up pretty great. It's very good at setting up. It's really nice. This is Deadly Artifice. Deals low light damage to all enemies, may make all targets bleed. This requires a cooldown. Between these two, in all honesty, between this one and this one, you might want to. It's dependent on your situation here. It's totally dependent on what you want to run in terms of an AoE. You might not even have. You might, in all honesty, you probably don't even have to run an AoE. You can run an AoE, but you probably don't have to. That's totally fine if you don't. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a few setup ideas just for movesets, and then I'll go straight into runes. I don't usually do these sets for monsters and stuff like that. Just besides more than 2, but I actually might have 3 sets for you. Okay, so this set is a complete single target oriented base set. So you want to run Hidden Hunt, you want to run Hidden Kill, and you want to run Invincible Hunter, and then you want to run Ready to Hunt. This takes advantage of his single target moves. Does he lack the AoE? Yes, he does lack the AoE, but does he lack the single target damage necessary to kill the 2 legendary monsters on the other team? No, he doesn't. He has 2. These are, on all honesty, these are really heavy hitting moves. You should take advantage of them. And he has move. He can avoid damage and stuff like that. He's very versatile. He needs the spammable. He needs the spammable damage just in case he doesn't kill anything with the first hit. And all that jazz. So you basically start the game. You basically start out by using Ready to Hunt, and then you go for Hidden Kill. You can use this to kill the tank or anything like that. Just get rid of anything you want to do and stuff like that. And then you go for Invisible Hunter the next time, so they can't do any damage. It's pretty much at this point you've killed something. You've killed something, so there's only one other thing. And if you used Invisible Hunter, they can't kill you. They can't hurt you. they could like maybe they can like stun you or something like that. But they can't kill you. Or at least that you don't take that turn of damage. They can still stun you, and then you're so stunned, and then they can actually hurt you. But like if they don't stun you and stuff like that, then you can get away without taking any damage, which is really nice. It's really nice in that sense. So yeah, you can use that. It takes advantage of all of his single target damage, and that's all right. It's really good. This next set more so takes. This is probably more so just an over-round thing. This is his hit. You want to use in all sets. I will say you're going to be running Hidden Kill and Invisible Hunter. Why not? You're going to be using for this set. This is the second set. You can run Hidden Kill. You can run Invisible Hunter. You can run any of the AOE. If you want to do just straight up damage, you can do that. Or if you want to do the AOE bleed, you can do that. In all honesty, though, you probably want to run Fatal Ambush because there's light monsters remove effects and stuff like that. So you probably want to bring this, and people bring Involved War a lot, so yeah, just bring Fatal Ambush. And then you may either run Ready to Hunt, or you may run Lick Your Wounds, just to get rid of, if you're blinded or dazed. I will say if you're blinded or dazed, this hurts. It hurts his damageability. It just does. It's a shame too because despite his really good setup and stuff like that, he can be totally trolled by the light monsters like his fellow kind. That's what Obsidian suffers from. His setup. There's a lot of light monsters that remove positive effects. I think there's Monkey removes positive. Does he do that? Monkey might. Invarv does. What else? There are other light monsters that do this. I think it was. I think there's. I'm just looking at them now. Cassia removes positive effects. I think Shakati does. That. Monkey might. Hasai. I think Hasai does. Hasai might. I'm not 100% sure on that. But there are quite a few light monsters that remove positive effects. So that's kind of taxing on it. But yeah, this is a setup set. This is just, you use Lick Your Wounds to avoid, just blinds and dazed. Because you don't want to be blind or dazed when you're doing your moves. You do want to hit your moves. You do want to land these moves. You need to be able to land them without any interruption. You do want to be able to do that because, they're on 2-turn cooldowns. You have to wait 2 turns before you can do your stuff again, and that's not good. So that's why you want it done the first time. You want them dead. You don't want them to be there anymore. This thing needs to get his job done in the first turn. And you can do that. In all honesty, you can do that. If you have double damage set up, Invisible Hunter will kill. In all honesty, Invisible Hunter will kill because I use Osteoclast a lot with a spammable 50 damage move, and that usually kills. It's a for sure thing. You can totally do that. This next setup, I will say, this next and last setup takes advantage of just the overall, just avoid damage and stuff like that. For this setup, you do need all moves in skill groups 3. I will say that you need all skills from skill groups 3. You just do need it. Just need Ready to Hunt, Invisible Hunter, and Deadly Artifact. You use Deadly Artifact the first turn, to set up your bleeding, and then you may use your Ready to Hunt to double damage and stuff like that, and then you can do Invisible Hunter. And you also need to run Hidden Kill. So basically, this is there really wasn't too much of a difference. I literally just took out Fatal Ambush and just added Deadly Artifact and just completely ignored Lick Your Wounds. This is a more so you have to have defensive setup for this one. But yeah, this is pretty much this is solid. This is just take advantage of the fact you can't be taking any damage, so that means you're doing damage over time. You're making people bleed, which is nice. Bleed is the best. I honestly like bleed. Besides other there are several other good negative effects in the game, but bleed is really nice because no one's immune to bleed, and I love bleed. I love bleeding moves. They're so great, and they're so much fun to use. Hopefully you're not using this. Don't use this setup against a general Invarv. It's just not the best thing to do. But yeah, yeah, I've just pretty much talked about all the sets. If you ever like wanted to go back, if you ever wanted to know what a specific set was, you can always go back into the specific time I talked about each set and go ahead and look at it and stuff like that. But yeah, so overall, this monster is really good. I will say that this monster is really good in PvP. In specific situations like water wars, you bring him to water war fights, you just do it. It's just a general thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. I guess I forgot runes and partners real quick. Runes you can run. I actually saw an interesting setup. I think it was either Demon or Terra that brought this combo. I mean, this rune setup in chat. But the rune set is 1 strength and 2 speed. I will say you'll need a really high level strength, probably level 9 strength for that strength, or a 10 strength or whatever. If you have a 10th strength, that wouldn't be a bad thing to do. A 10th strength and 2 speed. That's not a bad idea. I will say that it's not a bad idea because you can do your setup. You can do your avoid damage sooner, stuff like that. It may or may not be though, because because here's the thing with Taiga, you want to avoid the attacker's damage. You don't want to avoid the support damage. The support could probably attack you. That's very much a possibility, and you don't want that. You want to be able to avoid the attacker's damage, not the support's damage, because the move order is going to be either your denier or their denier. Usually it's going to be your denier because you do choose the fights, right? So it's going to be your denier, so you're going to deny them. You should obviously save your dodging moves and stuff like that for those situations. But yeah, you'll probably be using one of those to set up, because you gotta use your setup move too and stuff like that. Just set up for hit and kill. But then it's gonna go transition to that turn, and then you could probably get hit by the support. You probably don't want that. You want to avoid the attacker's damage. You want to avoid the heavy hitting damage. You shouldn't really care too much about the support damage. The support damage might not even be building any damage. But yeah, that's not a bad build. I will say that takes advantage of his avoiding all damage. That's not bad. I also heard this guy can probably 2v1. That's a possibility. I will say that's a possibility. Yeah, if you killed the thing that can stun and the only things that are left are freeze, yeah, you could totally 2v1. This guy can totally do that. If this is just plain damage, if all they do is plain damage, yeah, this guy can 2v1. That's possible. So yeah, you can do a strength and 2 life, not strength and 2 life, a strength and 2 speed, or you can do the traditional 2 strengths and a speed. That's totally doable. That's totally an option. It can work. Partners, basic traditional buffers. I will say a monster that's resistant to stun. Pair it up with this thing, just so in case you get frozen, this guy can move. If it's like an AoE stun, then the guy that can stun can immunity to stun can move, like Varna. I would say Varna would probably work well with this thing. You can bring Varna. You can bring Discopolis. I was thinking Discopolis would be a fun monster to bring with this guy. Just because you can do AoE days. Just to keep damage off Taiga when he doesn't have his avoid damage up. You can AoE stun. It's just a whole bunch of things you could do. Discopolis would be a really nice partner with this thing. You can do AoE shielding. If in all honesty, if the stall this thing, if you're not gonna run the hidden hunt move, just this use your spammable damage. You probably want protection. You probably like AoE shields. That's totally an option. That's totally doable. Like Minotaurus. Just again, anything that shields. I can't think of any more at the top of my head. For some reason, I can only think of Minotaurs. A tomb. If you're running like shields on Atlas for some reason, you can use Atlas. Yeah, and Trilops. Even though not many people use Trilops, Trilops is an option. He can do AoE shielding, and he has a move that has a chance to actually give a shield to Taiga. It's a damage move. It has a chance to give a shield to an ally, which is really nice. So you can pair it up with that thing, Trilops. Yeah, so overall, is Taiga really great? Yeah, he's a very good competitive monster in the sense of, PvP. I mean, just in specific situations, in water wars, and, Krampus fights. Yeah, this guy's amazing. This guy kills Krampus. This guy, literally goes to Krampus's house and kills it. He brings the trick-or-treat, the bucket. He brings the knife. He goes over to his house. He's like, hey... He's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, wait, it's not Halloween. Why do you got the bucket? Oh, I'm going to need to put you in it. Because you're going to be kicking the bucket soon. Hey! I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. That was a really bad joke. But yeah, no, that's a realistic thing. This guy can kill Krampus. This thing can eat it. This guy will eat the goat man. This guy doesn't care about Krampus. That's the funny thing about it. But if he doesn't do the freeze though, then yeah. If he doesn't do the AoE freeze and does like a burn, then yeah, then he starts to care. Then he starts to care. But yeah, not too much. He doesn't care too much about Krampus. But yeah, bring it to the freezing fights. I will say that. Bring it to the freezing fights. Is this the best light monster in terms of attacking? Just for like those, I will say in like again water. You bring this to freezing wars because he's immune to freeze. This is the reason why you bring him. He's immune to freeze. He's immune to the most common thing in the game. You bring it to those fights. Is he the best one? Not in terms of damage. I will say there is one person that competes with this Kit Kat, and there's another Kit Kat named Lao Lao. She has two. Like Taiga only has like 170 damage move, and the other one's a 50 damage move. Lalo has two 75 damage moves. One's a 75 special move, and one's a 75 light move. And obviously, like it doesn't matter too much that her attack is lower than Taiga's, because in all honesty, you can patch that up with a strength rune. Can you run the argument? Yeah. If you do run like 2 speeds and a strength, yeah, you can run that argument like, oh, but I can just avoid Lao Lao's damage. Lao Lao can still blind you. She can bleed you. I mean, she can reduce your damage. If you do run 2 speed runes and you're only running the 1 strength rune, your damage does kind of lower a bit. But again, you can run the argument if you run a really high strength rune, then yeah, it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, she can blind, she can daze. And in all honesty, you don't want to be blinded or dazed when using this monster. You want to be able to do your damage. This guy needs to hit his moves. This guy needs to kill, and he needs the job done when he does it. That's the main point of Taiga. He needs to go in there and get it done and go out. Just like Rengar. Hey, this guy plays just like Rengar from League of Legends. Get in there, get out, and screw everybody else in the game because everybody hates you at this point for using this thing. But yeah, this guy is really good overall. Do take advantage of this guy's stuff. He's a really great monster. Take advantage of those in specific situations and all that jazz. Is he invincible? He's not invincible. There are things he can. I don't know if like remove positive effects actually harm him. Like maybe like if I don't know if it prioritize remove the effects and then do the damage, or it like just removes the effects and then you can just do damage. He does suffer from that too. I will say that he does suffer from setup. It's the same thing that Obsidian can't set up for, because she has like she can set up double damage and stuff like that. He does suffer from like she suffers the same thing as Taiga does, or Taiga suffers the same thing as Obsidian does, because it's like light monsters remove effects. It's just the same. It's just the thing. Everybody uses general invarv. That's another problem. Just remove discouragement. Removes positive effects and makes everybody flammable. Everybody can remove positive effects and things like that. Yeah, I don't know if it's too much of a problem though. I think you can get around it. I think you can get around it and stuff like that. We just have to wait and see. Is it a more problem in PvP or is it not? We just gonna have to wait and see. Can you use this guy? In all honesty, can you use this guy in any fight? Yeah, you can use him in any fight. This guy's really great. Again, great monster, really awesome monster. Gonna be seeing this thing a lot, and that terrifies me. There's so many. This thing could cause so many problems in just like basic PvP. So terrifying. It is so terrifying. Just gonna seeing this thing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's everything you need to know about Taiga. I'm DibtheAwesome. I'll catch you guys later.